Welcome back to the channel The Coin Empire. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and mysterious stories in the world of coin collecting, a story that has captured the imagination of collectors, treasure hunters, and everyday people who dream of finding a fortune hidden in their pocket change. Imagine holding a simple 1951 wheat penny in your hand, a coin that at first glance appears ordinary, a small copper cent produced in Denver during the early 1950s. But what if that seemingly common coin carried an extraordinary combination of errors, mistakes, and rare characteristics that could push its theoretical value to an astonishing $142 million? While most 1951 wheat pennies are worth only a small premium over face value depending on condition, the possibility of discovering an example with unique and dramatic minting abnormalities has fueled endless excitement among collectors. The 1951 wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint and features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic wheat ears design on the reverse. Millions of these coins were produced, making them common in circulated grades, yet the world of numismatics teaches us that rarity is often created not by low mintage alone but by unusual circumstances that occur during the minting process. A single coin can become the center of attention if it displays remarkable errors that are rarely seen and highly sought after. One of the most famous possibilities involves a dramatic double die error. During the die creation process, if the design is impressed onto the die more than once with slight misalignment, visible doubling can appear on letters, numbers, and design elements. A spectacular double die on a 1951 wheat penny could transform an otherwise ordinary coin into a major rarity. Collectors carefully examine the date, the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and other design features in search of signs of true doubling. The stronger and more visible the doubling, the greater the excitement among experts. Another possibility that could contribute to enormous value is an off-center strike. Coins are intended to be struck precisely in the center of the planchet, but occasionally a blank enters the press improperly and receives an off-center impression. Depending on the degree of displacement and whether important design elements remain visible, such errors can command substantial premiums. A dramatic off-center strike combined with additional minting mistakes could create a coin unlike any other known example. Collectors also dream about broad strike errors, where a coin is struck outside the retaining collar and expands beyond its normal diameter. These unusual pieces often display distorted dimensions and attract significant attention. The combination of a broad strike with other rare characteristics could make a coin especially memorable within the collecting community. Then there is the possibility of a clipped planchet error. Before coins are struck, blank discs are punched from large metal sheets. Sometimes the punching process overlaps an already removed section, creating a curved clip on the resulting blank. If a 1951 wheat penny was struck on such a clipped planchet and preserved in exceptional condition, it could become a highly desirable collector's item. The larger and more dramatic the clip, the more intriguing the coin becomes. Another fascinating category involves die cracks and die breaks. Minting dies endure tremendous pressure during production, and over time they can develop cracks. These cracks transfer onto coins as raised lines or unusual features. In extreme cases, a piece of the die breaks away, creating what collectors call a cut error. A major cut on a 1951 wheat penny could dramatically alter its appearance and increase its desirability. Some collectors spend years searching through rolls of pennies hoping to discover a dramatic die break that escaped notice for decades. Repunched mint marks are another area of interest. During certain periods of American coin production, mint marks were punched into dies by hand. If the mint mark was punched more than once at slightly different angles or positions, traces of the earlier punch could remain visible. A strong repunched mint mark on a 1951 wheat penny would attract serious attention from specialists who focus on mint mark varieties. Such coins represent fascinating glimpses into the manufacturing practices of the era. Collectors are also intrigued by the possibility of a coin being struck on the wrong planchet. Although extremely rare, wrong planchet errors occur when a blank intended for another denomination finds its way into the press. Imagine a 1951 wheat penny struck on a foreign coin blank or on a planchet meant for another U.S. denomination. Such an error would instantly become one of the most remarkable discoveries associated with the series. The rarity and uniqueness of wrong planchet errors often place them among the most valuable mint mistakes ever found. Another exciting possibility involves multiple striking errors. Occasionally a coin receives more than one strike from the dies, resulting in overlapping images and dramatic distortions. Multiple strikes can create spectacular visual effects that make a coin stand out immediately. If a 1951 Wheat penny displayed multiple strikes in conjunction with other major errors, its appeal could become extraordinary. Collectors and auction houses often compete intensely for coins that combine several different error types into a single piece. Die rotation is another error that fascinates collectors. Normally the obverse and reverse of a coin are aligned according to strict standards. If one die rotates significantly from its intended position, the resulting coin displays an unusual orientation when flipped. Major rotational errors are uncommon and can generate strong interest, especially when paired with other anomalies. Lamination errors provide yet another possibility. During the preparation of the metal strip used for coin production, impurities or structural defects may develop within the metal. These imperfections can cause layers of the coin's surface to peel or separate. A dramatic lamination error on a 1951 Wheat penny could create a distinctive appearance and contribute to its uniqueness. Collectors often appreciate such errors because they reveal hidden aspects of the coin manufacturing process. Condition is another critical factor in determining value. Even common coins can become exceptionally valuable when preserved in extraordinary state. A 1951 Wheat penny with blazing original luster, razor-sharp details, and virtually no signs of wear could command impressive prices among registry-set competitors. If an already rare error coin survived in pristine mint state condition, its value could increase exponentially. The concept behind a hypothetical $142 million valuation stems from the idea of a perfect storm of rarity, uniqueness, historical significance, and collector demand. Imagine a coin that combines a dramatic double die, a major off-center strike, a repunched mint mark, a wrong planchet composition, and flawless preservation, all documented and authenticated as a unique discovery. Such a coin would represent a once-in-a-lifetime numismatic treasure unlike anything previously known. The excitement surrounding rare pennies comes from the fact that remarkable discoveries continue to happen. Collectors regularly find overlooked varieties and unusual mint errors in old collections, inherited jars, bank rolls, and forgotten albums. Every search carries the possibility of uncovering something extraordinary. The 1951 Wheat penny remains a favorite among enthusiasts because it belongs to the beloved Wheat Cent series, a collection that has inspired generations of coin hunters. Stories of rare coins selling for enormous sums motivate people to examine their change more carefully and learn about the intricate details that separate ordinary coins from exceptional ones. Experts often recommend inspecting the date, mint mark, lettering, and overall strike quality under magnification. Subtle differences can reveal important clues about a coin's origin and rarity. Authentication is essential whenever a potentially valuable error coin is discovered. Professional grading services evaluate authenticity, condition, and attribution, helping collectors understand exactly what they possess. The journey from pocket change to prized collectible often begins with careful observation and curiosity. While a standard 1951 Wheat penny is not worth millions of dollars, the dream of finding an example with unprecedented minting errors continues to inspire collectors worldwide. The possibility of discovering a coin that rewrites the record books captures the imagination like few other hobbies can. Every mark, every unusual feature, and every deviation from the norm tells a story about the minting process and the history of American coinage. Whether searching through inherited collections, visiting coin shows, or exploring old penny rolls, collectors remain hopeful that the next extraordinary discovery is waiting just around the corner. That sense of possibility is what makes the hobby so exciting. The 1951 Wheat penny serves as a reminder that even the most familiar objects can hold surprising secrets. A tiny copper coin produced more than 70 years ago can spark debates, inspire research, and ignite dreams of unimaginable wealth. The combination of historical significance, minting mysteries, and collector enthusiasm ensures that interest in this coin will continue for generations. Next, 1957 D Wheat Penny coin. Today we are exploring one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins that continues to capture the attention of collectors across the United States and around the world, the legendary 1957 D Wheat Penny, a small copper coin that most people would overlook without a second thought, but one that could potentially hide extraordinary value because of rare minting errors, unusual mistakes, and incredible possibilities that make coin collectors dream of discovering a life-changing treasure. Imagine reaching into an old coin jar, opening a dusty family collection, or searching through a forgotten roll of pennies and finding what appears to be an ordinary 1957 D Wheat Penny. At first glance it may look like just another cent from the wheat penny era, but closer inspection could reveal a combination of rare characteristics that transforms it into one of the most exciting discoveries in modern numismatics. The idea of a 1957 D Wheat Penny being worth $138 million represents the ultimate collector fantasy, a scenario in which an already desirable coin possesses a unique combination of errors, mistakes, and one-of-a-kind features that separate it from every other example known to exist. The Wheat Penny series remains one of the most beloved coin collections in American history. Produced from 1909 through 1958, these coins feature the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and two wheat ears on the reverse. The 1957 D issue was struck at the Denver Mint and millions of examples entered circulation, passing through countless hands over the decades. Most of these coins are common and affordable, but collectors know that hidden among ordinary coins there can sometimes be extraordinary exceptions. The first possibility that could dramatically increase the value of a 1957 D Wheat Penny is a major double die error. A double die occurs during the die creation process when design elements are impressed onto the die more than once at slightly different positions. The result can be noticeable doubling in letters, numbers, and design details. Strong doubling visible on the date, Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, or other elements immediately attracts attention. While double dies are already prized by collectors, a dramatic and previously unknown double die variety on a 1957 D Wheat Penny could become one of the most significant discoveries in the series. Collectors spend countless hours examining coins under magnification because even subtle evidence of doubling can mean the difference between a common coin and a major rarity. Another possibility involves a dramatic off-center strike. During the minting process, coin blanks must be perfectly positioned before being struck. Occasionally a blank is misaligned and receives only a partial impression. Off-center strikes can range from minor shifts to spectacular examples where large portions of the design are missing. The more dramatic the displacement while still showing the date and mint mark, the more desirable the coin becomes. A severe off-center 1957 D Wheat Penny preserved in exceptional condition could generate enormous interest among collectors who specialize in mint errors. Then there is the possibility of a broad strike error. Normally coins are struck within a collar that controls their diameter and shape. If the collar fails to engage properly, the coin can spread outward during striking, creating an oversized appearance. Broad strikes are visually impressive and provide direct evidence of a minting malfunction. A 1957 D Wheat Penny displaying a dramatic broad strike alongside other rare errors could become a centerpiece in any advanced collection. One of the most intriguing possibilities involves a coin struck on the wrong planchet. Coin blanks are carefully prepared according to denomination, but on rare occasions a blank intended for another coin enters the wrong press. Imagine a 1957 D Wheat Penny struck on a planchet intended for a dime, a foreign coin, or another denomination altogether. Such mistakes are extremely rare and often become some of the most valuable error coins ever discovered. Wrong planchet errors reveal fascinating insights into mint operations and create unique pieces that stand apart from standard production. Another feature that can greatly enhance value is a repunched mint mark. During the era of wheat pennies, mint marks were punched into dies by hand. If the mint mark was punched more than once at slightly different angles or positions, traces of the earlier punch may remain visible. These repunched mint marks are highly collectible because they reflect the manual processes used at the mint. A strong and dramatic repunched D mint mark on a 1957 D Wheat Penny would immediately attract specialists who focus on die varieties and mint mark anomalies. Collectors are also fascinated by die cracks and die breaks. Minting dies experience tremendous stress and eventually develop fractures. These cracks transfer onto coins as raised lines. In more extreme situations, pieces of the die can break away entirely, creating large raised areas known as cuts. A major cut error can dramatically alter the appearance of a coin and make it instantly recognizable. If a unique die break were discovered on a 1957 wheat penny, especially one unknown to the numismatic community, it could command tremendous attention and potentially set new records. Multiple strike errors represent another exciting possibility. Normally a coin receives a single strike, but occasionally a coin remains within the press and is struck again. The resulting overlapping images create unusual and often spectacular designs. A multiple-struck 1957 wheat penny could display distorted portraits, repeated lettering, and dramatic visual effects. The rarity of such pieces makes them highly desirable, especially when the strikes are clearly separated and easy to identify. Collectors are often willing to pay significant premiums for error coins that display dramatic visual characteristics. Lamination errors are another category that fascinates specialists. These occur when impurities or structural defects develop within the metal before striking. Portions of the surface may peel away or separate from the coin, creating unusual textures and appearances. A severe lamination error on a 1957 wheat penny could make the coin instantly recognizable and highly collectible. Such errors tell a story about the metal preparation process and provide evidence of manufacturing conditions that existed at the time of production. Another possibility is a rotated die error. Coins are designed so the front and back align in a specific orientation. If one die rotates significantly from its intended position, the resulting coin displays an unusual alignment when flipped. Dramatic rotations are uncommon and especially appealing to collectors. A 1957 wheat penny with a major die rotation combined with additional errors would stand out as an exceptional numismatic curiosity. Collectors also search for coins that display strike-through errors. These occur when foreign material enters the striking chamber and becomes trapped between the die and the coin blank. The object prevents part of the design from transferring properly and leaves unusual impressions. Strike-through errors can involve grease, cloth fibers, metal fragments, and other materials. Each example is unique, adding to the appeal and mystery of the coin. Die caps represent another extraordinary mint error. When a struck coin sticks to one of the dies, it can continue striking additional blanks, gradually forming a cap-like shape. The resulting coins often display dramatic distortions and unusual appearances. A 1957 wheat penny involved in such a process would immediately attract widespread interest among collectors and error specialists. Condition plays a crucial role in determining value. Even common wheat pennies become far more desirable when preserved in exceptional grades. Coins displaying original mint luster, sharp details, and minimal imperfections often command strong premiums. If an already rare error coin survives in nearly perfect condition, its value can increase dramatically. The combination of rarity and preservation is one of the most powerful forces in the numismatic marketplace. The hypothetical $138 million valuation comes from imagining a coin unlike any other known example. Picture a 1957 wheat penny that combines a dramatic doubled die, a wrong planchet strike, a major repunched mint mark, an off-center strike, and pristine mint state preservation. Add historical significance, extensive documentation, and recognition as a unique discovery. Such a coin would represent a once-in-a-generation treasure capable of attracting attention from elite collectors, museums, investors, and institutions around the world. Part of what makes the 1957 wheat penny so exciting is the possibility that remarkable discoveries are still being made. Collectors regularly uncover rare varieties and valuable errors in old collections, inherited coin albums, estate sales, and bank rolls. Every search carries the possibility of finding something previously overlooked. Stories of hidden treasures inspire new generations of collectors to learn about minting processes, study coin varieties, and examine their change more carefully. The Wheat Penny series continues to captivate people because it combines history, artistry, and the thrill of discovery. Each coin represents a moment. Next, 1952 Wheat Penny coin. Today we are diving into one of the most exciting and mysterious stories in the world of rare coins, a story centered around the 1952 Wheat Penny, a coin that many people might pass over without a second glance, but one that has the potential to ignite the imagination of collectors everywhere because of the incredible errors, mistakes, and rare possibilities that could transform an ordinary-looking cent into a legendary treasure. Imagine opening an old coin jar that has been sitting untouched for decades, sorting through a family collection inherited from a relative, or searching through rolls of pennies from a local bank, only to discover a 1952 wheat penny with unusual features unlike anything you have ever seen before. That moment of discovery is what keeps collectors fascinated year after year. The dream that a single copper coin could be worth an astonishing $135 million may sound unbelievable, yet the numismatic world is built on stories of rarity, uniqueness, and extraordinary minting mistakes that elevate certain coins far beyond their original face value. The 1952 wheat penny was produced during the final years of the famous wheat cent series, which ran from 1909 through 1958. Featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat ears on the reverse, the design is one of the most recognized in American coinage history. Millions of 1952 pennies were struck, making them common in circulation, but experienced collectors understand that true value often comes not from the number of coins produced but from the rare exceptions that escape the mint. Those exceptions can include striking errors, die varieties, planchet mistakes, and unusual production anomalies that create one-of-a-kind collectibles. One of the most exciting possibilities involves the discovery of a dramatic double die error. A double die occurs during the manufacturing process of the die itself. If the design is impressed into the die more than once at slightly different angles or positions, visible doubling can appear on the finished coin. Collectors carefully examine the date, the lettering, Lincoln's portrait, and other details looking for evidence of strong doubling. A previously unknown and dramatic double die on a 1952 wheat penny could become one of the most sought-after discoveries in the hobby. The stronger and more obvious the doubling, the greater the excitement among collectors and specialists. Another possibility that could dramatically increase value is an off-center strike. Coins are intended to be struck perfectly in the center of the blank planchet, but occasionally the blank enters the press incorrectly. When this happens, only part of the design is impressed onto the coin. Some off-center strikes are minor, while others are dramatic enough to remove a large portion of the design. Collectors especially value examples where the date remains visible because the coin can still be identified. A major off-center 1952 wheat penny in excellent condition could command substantial attention and potentially become one of the most famous examples of its type. Broad strike errors provide another fascinating possibility. During normal production, a retaining collar surrounds the coin blank and ensures the correct diameter and shape. If the collar fails to function properly, the coin may expand beyond its intended size during striking. The resulting broad strike often displays unusual dimensions and an eye-catching appearance. Such coins immediately attract attention because they clearly reveal a mechanical failure during the minting process. A 1952 wheat penny featuring a broad strike along with additional rare characteristics could become a centerpiece in a major collection. Wrong planchet errors are among the most dramatic mistakes that can occur in coin production. Before a coin is struck, blank discs are prepared according to strict specifications for each denomination. Occasionally a blank intended for another coin enters the wrong press. Imagine a 1952 wheat penny struck on a planchet meant for a dime, foreign coin, or another denomination entirely. Such an error would be exceptionally rare and would instantly become a major numismatic discovery. Wrong planchet coins provide compelling evidence of unusual circumstances inside the mint and often rank among the most valuable mint errors known. Another possibility involves repunched mint marks. During the wheat penny era, mint marks were applied to working dies by hand. If the mint mark punch was applied more than once at slightly different positions, traces of the original punch could remain visible. These repunched mint marks are highly collectible because they document the manual techniques used during coin production. A dramatic repunched mint mark on a 1952 wheat penny could attract intense interest from variety specialists who study such anomalies in detail. Collectors often spend years searching for previously undocumented mint mark varieties. Die cracks and die breaks offer yet another path to extraordinary value. Minting dies endure enormous pressure and eventually develop stress fractures. These fractures transfer to coins as raised lines. In more extreme situations, sections of the die may break away entirely, creating large raised areas called cuts. A major cut error can dramatically alter the appearance of a coin and make it instantly recognizable. If a unique die break variety were discovered on a 1952 wheat penny, it could become one of the most discussed coins in the series. Collectors are particularly fascinated by die states that document the progressive deterioration of a die over time. Multiple strike errors are also highly prized. Normally a coin receives one strike and is immediately ejected from the press. Occasionally a coin remains in the striking chamber and receives additional impressions. These multiple strikes can create overlapping images, distorted designs, and spectacular visual effects. A 1952 wheat penny displaying multiple strikes would immediately stand out from ordinary examples and could command strong premiums depending on the clarity and dramatic nature of the error. Some of the most famous error coins in history achieved their status because of unusual multiple strike characteristics. Lamination errors represent another intriguing possibility. These occur when impurities or structural weaknesses exist within the metal before the coin is struck. Portions of the surface may separate, peel away, or appear lifted. Lamination errors reveal information about the metal preparation process and often create unique visual effects. A severe lamination error on a 1952 wheat penny would likely attract specialists interested in metallurgical anomalies and mint production defects. Rotated die errors are another category that fascinates collectors. The obverse and reverse dies must be aligned according to specific standards. If one die rotates significantly from its intended position, the resulting coin displays an unusual orientation when flipped. Major rotations are uncommon and can become highly desirable, especially when combined with other rare features. A dramatically rotated 1952 wheat penny would certainly attract attention from error collectors. Strike-through errors provide additional opportunities for rarity. These occur when foreign material becomes trapped between the die and the coin blank during striking. The obstruction prevents portions of the design from transferring correctly, leaving unusual impressions on the coin. Grease, cloth fibers, metal fragments, and other materials can all create strike-through errors. Because every strike-through event is unique, such coins often become highly collectible. A 1952 wheat penny with a dramatic strike-through pattern would offer a fascinating glimpse into the conditions present during its production. Die cap errors represent one of the most spectacular mint mistakes imaginable. A coin that becomes stuck to a die can continue striking additional blanks, gradually forming a cap-like shape. The resulting pieces often display dramatic distortions and unusual characteristics. A 1952 wheat penny involved in such an event would be instantly recognizable and highly desirable among advanced collectors. These extraordinary errors demonstrate how unexpected events inside the mint can produce coins unlike any others. Another possibility that could contribute to a hypothetical $135 million valuation is the discovery of a transitional composition error. Collectors are fascinated by coins struck on metals not intended for a particular issue. While such mistakes are exceptionally rare, they have occurred throughout coinage history. A 1952 wheat penny struck on an incorrect composition and authenticated as genuine would immediately become a major attraction in the numismatic world. The rarity of such an error could elevate the coin to legendary status. Condition plays an equally important role in determining value. Even common coins can command remarkable prices when preserved in extraordinary grades. A 1952 wheat penny displaying full original mint luster, sharp details, and virtually no imperfections would attract strong interest from registry collectors seeking the finest known examples. If an already rare error coin survived in near-perfect condition, its value could increase dramatically. The combination of rarity and preservation often determines whether a coin becomes merely valuable or truly legendary. Provenance can also contribute significantly to a coin's appeal. Coins associated with famous collections or important discoveries often generate additional interest. Next, 1956 Wheat Penny coin. Today we are exploring one of the most fascinating and exciting stories in the world of coin collecting, a story centered on the 1956 Wheat Penny, a small copper coin that most people would never think twice about, but one that could potentially become the centerpiece of a legendary collection because of extraordinary minting errors, unusual production mistakes, and rare possibilities that continue to fuel the dreams of collectors around the world. Imagine finding an old penny tucked away in a forgotten drawer, hidden inside a dusty coin album, or mixed into a jar of spare change that has not been touched for decades. At first glance it appears to be just another wheat penny from the 1950s, a coin that circulated through countless hands and purchased everyday items in a very different era. But what if closer examination revealed a combination of rare characteristics unlike anything ever seen before? What if this seemingly ordinary 1956 wheat penny carried an incredible series of minting anomalies that transformed it from a common coin into a treasure with a hypothetical value of $130 million? That possibility is what makes the world of numismatics so captivating. The Wheat Penny series has long been one of the most beloved coin collections in American history. Introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, the design remained in production until 1958 and became a familiar part of daily life for generations of Americans. The 1956 Wheat Penny was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mint mark beneath the date. Millions of examples were produced, meaning most surviving coins are relatively common. However, collectors know that extraordinary value is often created not by ordinary production but by mistakes, accidents, and unusual events that occur during the minting process. Every coin has a story, but some coins tell stories that are far more dramatic than others. One of the most important possibilities involves a double die error. This type of error occurs during the creation of the die used to strike coins. If the design is impressed onto the die more than once at slightly different positions, the finished coins can display noticeable doubling on letters, numbers, and design elements. Collectors carefully inspect areas such as the date, Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and Lincoln's portrait looking for evidence of doubling. A dramatic and previously undiscovered double die variety on a 1956 wheat penny could attract worldwide attention. The stronger the doubling and the clearer its visibility, the greater the excitement among specialists. Some double die varieties become famous because they are instantly recognizable and extremely rare. Imagine a 1956 penny displaying dramatic doubling throughout the design, preserved in exceptional condition and verified as unique. Such a discovery would send shockwaves through the collecting community. Another possibility that could contribute to extraordinary value is an off-center strike. During normal production, coin blanks must be perfectly aligned before being struck by the dies. Occasionally a blank enters the striking chamber improperly positioned. The resulting coin receives only a partial impression, leaving part of the blank unstruck. Off-center errors vary widely in severity. Some are minor and barely noticeable, while others are so dramatic that large portions of the design are missing. Collectors especially prize examples where the date remains visible because the coin can still be positively identified. A spectacular off-center 1956 wheat penny combined with additional rare characteristics could become one of the most talked about error coins ever discovered. Broad strike errors represent another fascinating category. These occur when the retaining collar that normally surrounds the coin during striking fails to function correctly. Without the collar restricting expansion, the coin spreads outward under pressure and becomes larger than intended. Broad-struck coins often display unusual shapes and dimensions that immediately reveal something unusual occurred during production. A 1956 wheat penny exhibiting a dramatic broadstrike alongside other minting anomalies would be a remarkable find and a prized possession for any collector fortunate enough to own it. Wrong planchet errors are among the most spectacular mistakes that can occur at a mint. Before striking, coin blanks are prepared according to precise specifications. On rare occasions, a blank intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin enters the wrong press. The result is a coin struck with the design of one denomination but on the metal and size of another. Imagine a 1956 wheat penny struck on a dime planchet, a foreign blank, or another unexpected metal composition. Such an error would instantly become one of the most significant discoveries associated with the series. Wrong planchet errors are treasured because they reveal unusual circumstances within the mint and create coins that are truly unique. Repunched mint marks offer another possibility. During the era when wheat pennies were produced, mint marks were punched into working dies by hand. If the punch was applied more than once at slightly different angles or positions, remnants of the earlier punch could remain visible. These repunched mint marks are highly collectible because they document a specific stage in the minting process. A dramatic repunched D mint mark on a 1956 D wheat penny would attract intense interest from specialists who focus on die varieties. The clearer and stronger the repunching, the more desirable the coin becomes. Collectors often spend years studying mint mark varieties in search of previously unknown examples. Die cracks and die breaks also contribute to collector fascination. Minting dies endure tremendous pressure over time, and eventually stress fractures begin to develop. These fractures appear on coins as raised lines. In more extreme situations, sections of the die may break away entirely, creating large raised areas known as cuts. A significant die break can dramatically alter the appearance of a coin and make it instantly recognizable. Imagine a 1956 D wheat penny displaying a massive cut error unlike any other known example. Such a coin would attract considerable attention from collectors, researchers, and auction houses. Multiple strike errors are equally intriguing. Normally a coin receives one strike before being ejected from the press. Occasionally a coin remains within the striking chamber and receives additional impressions. These multiple strikes create overlapping designs, distorted images, and dramatic visual effects. Some multiple struck coins appear almost artistic in their complexity. A 1956 D wheat penny with several distinct strikes would stand apart from ordinary examples and could become one of the most memorable error coins in existence. Lamination errors provide another pathway to rarity. These occur when impurities or structural weaknesses develop within the metal before striking. Portions of the coin's surface may peel, split, or separate, creating unusual textures and appearances. Lamination errors reveal details about the metal preparation process and offer collectors a glimpse into the manufacturing challenges faced by the mint. A dramatic lamination error on a 1956 D wheat penny could add significant interest and value, particularly if combined with other unusual features. Rotated die errors also capture the attention of collectors. Coins are intended to have a specific alignment between the obverse and reverse. If one die rotates significantly from its intended position, the resulting coin displays an unusual orientation when turned. Major rotations are relatively uncommon and often command premiums. A dramatically rotated 1956 D wheat penny would immediately stand out and could become even more desirable if accompanied by additional errors. Strike-through errors represent yet another category of fascinating mint mistakes. These occur when foreign material becomes trapped between the die and the coin blank during striking. The material prevents part of the design from transferring correctly, leaving unusual impressions on the coin. Grease, cloth fibers, metal fragments, and other objects can all produce strike-through errors. Every strike-through error is unique because the obstructing material differs in shape and composition. A 1956 D wheat penny with a dramatic strike-through pattern would provide compelling evidence of an unusual event during production. Die cap errors are among the most dramatic minting anomalies known. When a struck coin adheres to a die instead of being ejected, it can continue striking additional blanks. Over time the stuck coin begins to deform and assume a cap-like shape. The resulting pieces are often highly distorted and visually spectacular. A 1956 D wheat penny involved in such an event would become an instant centerpiece in any error collection. Collectors are fascinated by die cap errors because they reveal the consequences of a malfunction continuing through multiple strikes. Another possibility that could contribute to a hypothetical $130 million valuation is a transitional composition error. Although uncommon, some of the most famous coins in history achieved legendary status because they were struck on materials not intended for that particular issue. If a 1956 wheat penny were discovered on an unusual or experimental composition and authenticated as genuine, last 1958 wheat penny coin. Today we are diving into one of the most exciting mysteries in the world of coin collecting, a story that revolves around the famous 1958 wheat penny, a coin that many people have seen, many collectors have searched for, and countless treasure hunters dream about discovering in an old collection because of the incredible possibilities surrounding rare errors, minting mistakes, and unique characteristics that could potentially make a single example worth an astonishing $125 million. Imagine finding a small copper coin in an old cigar box, a forgotten bankroll, or a dusty album that has not been opened in decades. At first glance it appears to be an ordinary wheat penny from the final year of the beloved wheat cent series, but a closer inspection begins to reveal unusual details. Perhaps the lettering appears doubled, perhaps the strike seems off-center, or perhaps the metal itself looks different from every other penny you have ever seen. These tiny clues can transform a common coin into an object of fascination, and that possibility is exactly what keeps collectors searching through thousands upon thousands of pennies every year. The 1958 wheat penny occupies a special place in American numismatic history because it marks the final year of the wheat cent design before the reverse changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. Because of this historical significance alone, many collectors already consider the 1958 wheat penny an important issue. However, what truly fuels excitement are the rare errors and varieties that occasionally emerge and remind collectors that the minting process, despite its precision, is never completely perfect. Every mistake creates the possibility of rarity, and rarity is often the foundation of extraordinary value. One of the most famous possibilities associated with the 1958 wheat penny is a double die error. In fact, double die varieties are among the most sought-after coins in the entire wheat penny series. A double die occurs during the creation of the die itself when the design is impressed more than once at slightly different positions. The resulting coins can display dramatic doubling on letters, numbers, and design elements. Collectors inspect the date, the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and other features under magnification searching for evidence of this phenomenon. A dramatic double die on a 1958 wheat penny could instantly attract worldwide attention because such varieties are already known to generate enormous excitement. Imagine discovering a previously undocumented double die variety stronger than any known example. Such a coin could become one of the most important numismatic discoveries of its generation. Another possibility involves an off-center strike. During the minting process, coin blanks must be positioned correctly before the dies strike them. Occasionally a blank enters the striking chamber improperly aligned, causing only part of the design to appear on the finished coin. Off-center strikes vary greatly in severity. Minor examples may be interesting but relatively affordable, while dramatic examples showing large missing sections of the design can become extremely desirable. If a 1958 wheat penny displayed a dramatic off-center strike while retaining a visible date and clear identification, it could become one of the most sought-after error coins among specialists. Broad strike errors offer another fascinating avenue for rarity. During normal production, a retaining collar surrounds the coin and controls its final shape and diameter. If the collar fails, the metal can expand beyond its intended boundaries during striking. The resulting broad-struck coin often appears larger and more unusual than a normal example. Such errors are visually impressive because they immediately reveal that something unexpected happened during production. A broad-struck 1958 wheat penny with sharp details and exceptional preservation could attract significant attention from collectors who appreciate dramatic minting anomalies. Wrong planchet errors represent some of the most remarkable mistakes that can occur in coin production. Before coins are struck, blanks are manufactured according to strict specifications. Occasionally a blank intended for another denomination or another country's coinage enters the wrong press. The result is a coin carrying one design but struck on an entirely different blank. Imagine a 1958 wheat penny struck on a dime planchet, a foreign coin blank, or an experimental metal composition. Such an error would instantly become a major numismatic event. Collectors are fascinated by wrong planchet coins because they reveal unusual circumstances inside the mint and create pieces that are often unique. A previously unknown wrong planchet 1958 wheat penny could become one of the most famous error coins in existence. Die cracks and die breaks also play a significant role in creating collectible varieties. Minting dies are subjected to immense pressure during production and eventually develop stress fractures. These fractures transfer onto coins as raised lines. In more extreme cases, portions of the die break away entirely, producing large raised areas known as cuts. A major die break on a 1958 wheat penny could create a visually dramatic appearance and attract intense interest among collectors. Some enthusiasts actively seek coins showing progressive die deterioration because these pieces document the life cycle of the die itself. A unique die break variety could become highly valuable, especially if only a small number of examples are known. Repunched mint marks are another area of fascination. Although some 1958 pennies carry no mint mark because they were struck in Philadelphia, examples from branch mints can display mint mark anomalies. During this era, mint marks were added by hand to working dies. If the punch was applied more than once at slightly different angles or positions, traces of the earlier punch could remain visible. Such repunched mint marks are highly collectible because they provide direct evidence of manual minting practices. A dramatic repunched mint mark variety associated with a 1958 wheat penny could become a prized discovery among specialists. Multiple strike errors represent another extraordinary possibility. Normally a coin receives one strike before being ejected from the press. Occasionally a coin remains inside the striking chamber and receives additional strikes. These overlapping impressions create unusual designs that can be both visually dramatic and historically fascinating. A multiple-struck 1958 wheat penny could display distorted portraits, repeated lettering, and overlapping features unlike anything seen on ordinary coins. Such pieces often become centerpieces in advanced collections because they demonstrate a significant malfunction within the minting process. Lamination errors add yet another layer of intrigue. These occur when impurities or weaknesses exist within the metal before the coin is struck. As a result, portions of the surface may peel, split, or separate. Lamination errors provide clues about the quality of the metal used during production and reveal aspects of the manufacturing process that are normally hidden. A severe lamination error on a 1958 wheat penny could make the coin instantly recognizable and highly desirable among collectors interested in unusual minting anomalies. Rotated die errors are equally fascinating. Coins are intended to have a specific orientation between the obverse and reverse. If one die rotates from its intended position, the resulting coin displays an unusual alignment when flipped. Dramatic rotations are relatively rare and often command strong premiums. A 1958 wheat penny with a significant rotated die error could become even more valuable if combined with additional unusual characteristics. Strike-through errors provide another exciting possibility. These occur when foreign material becomes trapped between the die and the coin blank during striking. The obstruction prevents part of the design from transferring correctly and leaves behind unusual impressions. The foreign material might be grease, cloth fibers, metal shavings, or other objects. Because every strike-through event is unique, these errors often attract collectors who appreciate one-of-a-kind minting anomalies. A dramatic strike-through on a 1958 wheat penny could create a fascinating appearance unlike any other coin in the series. Die cap errors rank among the most dramatic mint mistakes known to collectors. When a coin sticks to a die instead of being ejected, it can continue striking additional blanks. Over time the stuck coin deforms and takes on a cap-like shape. The resulting pieces are often highly distorted and visually spectacular. A die cap involving a 1958 wheat penny would immediately become a major attraction in any collection. Such errors reveal how a simple malfunction can produce extraordinary results. Another possibility involves a transitional or experimental composition error. Because the 1958 wheat penny marks the end of an important design era, collectors often speculate about unusual production experiments or accidental strikes on incorrect materials. If a genuine 1958 wheat penny were discovered struck on an unusual composition never intended for circulation, it could become one of the most important numismatic discoveries ever made. Such a coin would attract attention not only from collectors but also from historians seeking to understand how the mistake occurred. The condition of the coin is